Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show, right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. I hope that everyone is doing okay on this amazing day that is June 18th and the year is 2021. My name is Calmie and this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Let me know how your Friday morning is turning on in different areas. I do understand that you do have there is a family from the diaspora as well. Let us know how your Friday morning is turning out. In Nairobi, it is already 4 minutes past 12 p.m. So, of course, the day is running smoothly. And in terms of the weather updates, I cannot complain because as much as it is chilly, I think it's the chilly and a little bit hot at the same time. But I have interacted with a lot of people who are complaining about flu. But I think this goes hand in hand with the weather. Personally, I'm battling it, but then again, I've been doing a lot of vinegar, and I've also been doing not vinegar. I've been doing a lot of ginger and also lemon. So I think I'm basically good to go. But irrespective, it is a very beautiful Friday in Nairobi, and if today I was if today could have gone to town, trust me, the mood there is definitely something else because this is the time that people know that they have 2 more days to their own and not going to work. So definitely, we call it rioting in quotes, rioting to say that it is a party after party in Nairobi right now. If I could have gone to town and get to take a look at it, but let me know how is the mood in your country every time it is on a Friday. Weekend or not, the mood is the same whether you are working. Let me just think my internet has some issue. All right, we are back. Sorry for that. In Nairobi, whether you are working over the weekend or not, the mood is basically the same. Karibuni sana to the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century, and you can simply proceed. And let me just all right, sorry for that hitch. Let me know how you are doing. Remember, you are tuning to the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century, and you can simply get to log onto www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to listen to the various. You can also proceed and get to listen to the great songs that you get to jump right there on the Blackout Fire Network. You can also proceed and get to read some of the blogs. Remember, family, the reading culture never stops. That has actually been the theme for days. The reading culture does not stop. And personally, I'm looking forward to having a very interesting weekend. I mean, who doesn't get to love the weekends? I mean, this is the time that you just basically get to sit down and get to assess yourself. I'm not saying that during other days of the week that you do not get to assess yourself. You can still also get to assess yourself. And I just want to start the show. You know, being on a Friday, it is all about entertainment, and that is what we are all about. But also, we'll get to talk about some issues that are affecting us. We'll get to talk about some issues that are trending, because I felt this story to be quite disturbing, and that is why we'll talk about it, as much as today is just excluded, or rather, let me say it is excluded just for entertainment and nothing more. But you'll get to really take a look at what is happening. And I was just waking up and I'm reading the blogs that Nairobi has been ranked to be one of the most stressful cities in the world. Well, let me put this correct again. Nairobi. For those who do not know where Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. And we always say that if you can survive in Nairobi, then there's nowhere else you cannot get to survive, because this is the city for those with brains. If you do not know how to survive in Nairobi, basically you're not going to be able to survive anywhere else. So Nairobi has been ranked to be amongst, I do not know other cities as well, but Nairobi has been ranked to be amongst one of the stressful cities that we do have around. And I'm not that shocked, of course, because Nairobi can be stressful. We do have a lot of youths who have left their village to come to Nairobi and get to, to find a source of living. Not even youths, even people from the village. Even right now, your parents will be calling and they'll be like, hey, top me up, or do this and this, or your relatives. They believe that the moment you are in Nairobi, then you have money. My friend, everyone is hustling. Everyone is trying to put food on their table. That is about Nairobi, and it indeed is a stressful city. And that is why we do have a lot of people, indulging into crime. That is why we do have a lot of people taking the shortcut to finding money. That is why, you're coming to Nairobi, you are receiving phone calls from your relatives, from your family. Everybody is thinking that you have money the moment that you are in Nairobi. And that is why some people are now forced to deal with the wash business. That's why some people are forced to be con artists around here, just to show the people in the village that yes, I am making it. Indeed, Nairobi is a stressful city. Let me know if your city is stressful as well. But in Nairobi, it has been ranked to be amongst it has been ranked to be amongst the stressful cities that you do have. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and we do have other shows as well. I'm talking about the 54 Correspondent Show. We do have the Express Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. We also do have the Pan African Show by the one and only at Joby. We also do have that is the Rhythm Scope Show. We also do have the Swahili classes, the African Today Show. I mean, guys, the list is just endless. You can't simply get to log in and get that is just you can't get to actually download our website and you can proceed and get to watch these shows. I do understand that. It is in the wee hours of the morning. So basically, I understand if a majority of you are sleeping, but you got you covered. You can get to watch some of these shows that you might have missed once you are logged onto YouTube. But I had asked earlier on a question. Let me know, has your city been ranked to be stressful? And most of the time, it does not need to be ranked, because you as an individual can be like, yes, I just relocated to this city and I think it is stressful. I've just given you a hint of how Nairobi can be stressful, because Nairobi has been ranked to be amongst one of the stressful cities. And I'd just love to give us updates before we get to proceed to the main topic of the day. Remember, today it is all about entertainment. And I want to highlight on one thing. In Kenya, I believe in many African countries, but I did not see this in Rwanda. The last time we were in Rwanda, I did not see this. That is the wearing of a second-hand clothes. Trust me, guys, you might be like, how does someone get to wear second-hand clothes? Yes, that is the it thing. People are wearing second-hand clothes. All right, you are back. For some reasons, my internet wasn't stable. I was just talking about the situation that is happening in Nairobi in terms of people opting to buy second-hand clothes. Yes, that was the thing back then in campus. I remember we used to save money. You save the upkeep that your parent has given you, and on a particular weekend or on a particular day of the week that you're not busy with classes, you wake up in the wee hours of the morning, you go to the market and get to buy clothes, because then that is the time when new bundles are coming from different parts of the world. You get to buy them at a cheaper price, you get to don them. And that was just the it thing. I never saw any issue with that, because it was just the thing. You get to buy a second-hand clothes, a new one, of course, that we call them camera. A camera means the new ones. I'm not talking about the ones that have been worn beyond. So that used to be the thing. And till now, it is still the thing, because talking about promoting local, that is a local fashion, it is not easy, because most people believe it is quite expensive. So something did get to strike me in terms of these second-hand clothes that everyone is donning. We call them mtumba. If you come to Kenya, you can say nipeleke nikanunue nguo za mtumba, just to say that take me to buy some second-hand clothes. That is the it thing. I know people in the diaspora, you're like, how does someone get to do this? Most of the time, I believe people in the diaspora get to donate your clothes to charity and so on. Yes, those clothes that you're donating, they're coming all back to Kenya, different African countries, and people are buying them and donning them at the end of the day, because they believe they are way cheaper. So I saw a video of some two ladies. They had actually bought themselves some bra. Of course, I've never. Okay, in terms of buying mutumba clothes, you have to be a little bit skeptical, because you do not want to buy inner clothes. They might end up affecting you. But for some people, they do not care. They'll end up buying them. So these two ladies had bought a bra, from the market, because it is something very normal. And one of them has been wearing this bra, but every time she's washing it, she used to feel something hard, especially on the nipple side area. And she also used to feel some type of reaction every time you get to wear this bra. Most of the time you're like, maybe it's because it is a second-hand thing. That is the reason as to why it is reacting with me. Well, they decided to open to cut that section that is on the nipple area, and shock unto them, they did get to find some 3 pills, and these 3 pills they were wrapped in in a polythene paper, so it is hard for them to be affected by water. But what was seen is that these pills were just melting at a slow rate, and I'm just wondering, is this some type of a weapon against us? Type of a weapon in terms of coming about with things that Africans find cheap, and then at the end of the day, cheap is expensive. That is, it ends up costing someone, because Medic says that these pills were a little bit cancerous. I do not understand the content that were in these pills, but this is to just sound as a warning to people out there who actually get to buy these second-hand clothes. You really need to be careful. You really need to take a look at some of them, because some of them they are imported, of course, to Africa. Imported, yes, they are, of course, imported to Africa. And when you get to take a look at some of the hidden contents in these clothes, you will basically be shocked. So, of course, this is just more like an awareness that you need, to every time you get to buy something that is a second hand. I'm not saying that everyone is buying this, but or to the African people who are listening, every time you get to buy that mtumba clothes, make sure that you get to take a look at the content, because some of these clothes, they do come about with hidden products in it, and these products will end up affecting you. So that is it. There was some medicine that was found inserted inside a bra, and this medicine was wrapped in a polythene paper, and it was slowly do I get to say decomposing? And the owner of that bra was actually having some irritation every time she used to wear that bra. So there you have it. Some things that are sent to us are basically meant to destroy us. I do not know if you've had an experience donning some of these tomba things, but I think it's a no-no. In most European countries, you get to see that you can go to any stores. You can go to any designer stores and get to have any piece of clothes. For example, in Kenya, you do have Mr. Price. I do understand Mr. Price is also in the likes of the UK and the different African countries. But moving on from that, remember, it is all about updates, and today it is all about entertainment before we get to go to the main topic of the day. And in terms of entertainment, I'll have to talk about the new songs that you need to listen. Guys, it is actually on a weekend. I understand in the diaspora it's still in the wee hours of the morning. In Nairobi, people have already started partying. To those who are attending classes, for example, back in campus, I remember my classes by Wednesday, my classes were done. I did I did a degree in that is in mass communication. So most of the time, we made sure that our class representative had switched off the lectures, such that every classes, that is the mandatory classes, of course, switched on, such that we get to finish them by Wednesday. So Thursday and Friday till Monday, my friend, I'm telling you, it used to be definitely a wrap. So in terms of the new songs a lot, you can basically get to listen to these songs over the weekend. And these are just some of the songs to drive you to give you that type of mood, to calm you, because I do understand that the week has not been easy. And of course, today it is on the 18th day of June. Just a few more days before you get to start the new month, that is on July. So you can get to listen to this new song. Some of these songs I personally do not get to understand their message, because they're being sung in French, but of course the artist is African. And the title of the song, I believe you have interacted with this. That is the new song alert that you can get to include in your playlist. It goes by the name Songi, and the title that is, and the artist goes by the name Maud Elkham. Let me repeat this: Songi is just Songi. That is the title of the jam, Songi, by the one and only Maud Elika. And this is to those individuals who actually love some little bit of rumba, some little bit of Congolese music. Then definitely we got you covered. You can get to listen to Maud Elika, and the title of the jam is a Songi. This is the jam that has graced the streets of Nairobi, and everyone is basically talking about it. So you need your weekend mood activated. Get yourself this on your playlist. That is a songi by the one and only Maud Elka. And of course, it's more of a Congolese song. For those who love a Congolese music, we got you covered. You can also listen to one and only, if you're going through a heartbreak right now, if someone is giving you kills. I'm talking about if you are maybe in a relationship and there's this girl you're basically doubting who's giving your man some form of happiness. It's time to put a stop to that. I'm not talking about killing someone and things like that, but you can get to listen to this song. It is called, of course, the title of the jam is Jennifer, and the artist goes by the name Gucci. And I can say for an upcoming artist, Gucci is really doing a lot. It is actually a hit. And it reminds me back then when Yemi Alade came into limelight. She came with, I actually did get to know Yemi Alade by this new jam that is a Johnny. I understand that some of you did get to listen to that is the song Johnny, and the Johnny and the Jennifer just goes hand in hand. It is all about in terms of Jennifer, it is all about a girl who's wrecking the happiness of another girl, and in terms of Johnny by the one and only Yemi Alade, it is about, of course, a man who is basically wrecking the happiness of a female. So definitely, there you go. It is something worth listening to. A very simple video, if you ask me, a very simple video, but the message out there is definitely dope. That is in terms of entertainment. Remember, today it is on a Friday, and we get to also take a look at entertainment. And also in terms of African music, remember, we also get to update you on some of the African artists you can get to look up to. It's not only in terms of in terms of them being based in Africa, but some of them are also based in the diaspora as well. You can get to listen to them. And in terms of the artists to look up to this year, 2021, we are taking you a little bit all the way to Uganda. And I've never really been a fan of Ugandan music, but I get to listen I get to listen to the one and only that is at Sheba. Queen Sheba is really doing some good song. And some time back, I used to listen to, what was the name? Baby Cool also all the way from Uganda. But in terms of the African music stars that you can get to look up to, that is this year, 2021, you can proceed and get to listen to Fik Fameka. I know a few of you might have interacted with his songs. Fik Fameka is also known as a fresh boy all the way from Uganda. You can get to listen to his song. And this guy is only 24 years. I mean, at 24 years, some people have really realized what they want with their life. At 24 years, some people are actually even billionaires, millionaires, and so on. At 24 years, some people are already settled and they know what they want in life. So in terms of this, maturity does not really mean the age, because some people are in their late 50s and still they drop their brain somewhere else. But at 24 years old, that is a fake filmmaker, is doing the most in the Ugandan entertainment industry, that is music wise. But don't quote me wrong. I've never really been wanting to watch any Ugandan movie, because, guys, Jesus, Ugandan movies is just beyond the articulation, the pronunciation just gets me, extremely, laughing. At some point, I even do not get to understand what they're talking. But in terms of their movies, to me, it's a no-no. But in terms of their music, we do have some artists who are actually trying their best, to make sure that they do not get to sing in Uganda, because most of the time you get to listen to Ugandan music, they get to sing in Uganda, and it's actually extremely hard for you to listen. And the title of the song that did get to put a fake filmmaker into the limelight, it is called Kutama. Kutama is, I believe, a Ugandan terminology. We also are taking you to Democratic Republic of Congo. Remember, I had earlier on shared with you a song that you can't get to jam over the weekend. That is a songi by Maud, all the way from, I believe, Congolese. And you can also get to listen to Gaz Mawete from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I mean, guys, I really love some Congolese music. It's always my thing. I just love how they get to, as much as I do not get to understand what they're singing, but this is just some calming music. Away from R&Bs, I also get to love some little bit of Congolese music. So you can basically get to listen to this. That is at Gaz Mawete. Remember, guys, I'm updating you on some of the artists to look up to. That is this year, 2021, before you get to focus on the main topic of the day. Gaz Mawete, all the way from Democratic Republic of Congo, and the title of his song is Olingi Nini, and he has collaborated with the likes of Fali Ipupa. Who doesn't love Fali Ipupa? And I think the song that I love most about Fali Ipupa, I think, what is the title? Is it Daju, something like that, Daju, something like that, by Fali Ipupa. And also Gaz Mawete has been nominated for the Best African Act category. That is, of course, in the MTV Europe Awards. Not that it highly matters, but African artists, every time they are nominated, they think that, yes, that is the it thing for them. And also still, for the African music stars to look for this year 2021, we do have a Kiddy from Ghana. Today I did not just want to go all the way to Nigeria, because I believe we have been giving Nigeria a lot of limelight, and we have been forgetting that we have artists Sorry, I think my internet did get to hang for a minute. And in terms of other artists from Ghana, we do have Kiddy, all the way from Ghana. And he had, of course, the song that did get to put him on the limelight was Sugar. And that is the album Sugar, did get to make him win an award. That is, I'm talking about the year 2020. It's still not late for you to get to listen to Kiddy, all the way from Ghana. And we also, last but not least, we do have a Shasha, all the way from Zimbabwe. I've never really listened to Zimbabwean music, but I think some time back Spikes had played some of this music at the studio. And it sounds more like a piano, because I do understand that you do have some some tribes in Zimbabwe that get to sound more like South African tribes. And Shasha, all the way from Zimbabwe, has been doing the likes of Amapiano songs. I understand that Amapiano is definitely the new wave right now, and of course Shasha has been listed on the top 10 most streamed female artists on the streaming. So there you have it in terms of some of the songs that you can basically to listen unto over the weekend. And moving on to the main topic of the day. Remember, guys, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and of course, You are tuning to the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century, and we are really looking forward to a very interesting show. And like I've said, right now it is already 28 minutes past 12 p.m. in Nairobi. The day is still going on, and I think it's actually getting a little bit hot, irrespective of how cold it looks outside. It's actually getting a little bit hotter in here, and I believe this is because of the topic that we are about to tackle today. So, in terms of what is happening, before even we get to venture on that, remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Blackout Fire Network Media for the 21st century. And you can get to have a hold of us by simply logging onto www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to listen to the shows. You can get to like the videos, you can get to share the videos, because at the end of the day, knowledge shared is something good, because ignorance is definitely a bliss. We do not want to have someone being on that level. You can also proceed and get, that is to support the stream, at Cash App Mr. Blackout Fire, and you can donate at www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And still on our website, you can proceed and get, that is I can get to watch other shows as well. I've talked about the Calmie African Diary Show. I've talked about the Pan-African Bliss Show by Joby. We do have the African Today Show by Spikes, Keith, and Dazo. We also do have the 54 Correspondence Show, that is by Spikes. We also do have the Rhythm Scoop Show by, of course, Spikes, Joby, and I. And we also do have the 254 Tujadili Show, where we talk about love, life, and money. So, of course, the shows are definitely there on our website. You can basically get to watch some of these shows, because I do understand that the difference in timings at times cannot get to allow us to proceed and watch some of these shows. And moving on, let me know your views regarding this topic, because I feel it's becoming more like a trend in Kenya, that right now in the country, some Somalis have begun to fear for their lives. That before either of them gets maybe to board a matatu to go to their various destination, that they have to make sure there's a fellow Somali in that matatu. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a silent war that is happening in Kenya, and even the government is not addressing this, irrespective of people talking about this on different social media platforms. That if I am a Somali and I want maybe to move from point A to point B, maybe using a public means, I have first of all to survey and take a look. Is there my fellow Somali there? If he or she is, then I'll feel safe. If they're not, then I'll feel like I'm not safe. Or if I am a Somali and I want, maybe I've requested for Uber to come and pick me, I have to be highly alert, because I do not know whether the Uber driver might decide to change the destination. Because the topic in that Uber will be all about how Somalis have money. Will be all about how you can get to just have money by interacting with a Somali. And that alone is making them fear for their lives. I mean, guys, I believe we've both been given a platform to go out there and hustle for money. And I've never interacted with Somalis a lot, but I get to see them most of the time at some mosque in town. I used to have, I think, a Somali friend some time back, but I think they relocated somewhere else. And these are really hardworking people, because they know what they have gone through. A majority of them have been displaced. A majority of them ran away from Somalia. We all know how Somalia is very unstable. Most places that is. And some of them have relocated to Kenya to find a brighter future. But it disturbs me that every day on the local news, the disappearance of Somalis is on the rise, especially women. I'm talking about the kidnap cases. And most of the time, those who are missing, they end up being found dead. Not just dead because they died due to an accident or knocked themselves out and things like that. No. For the women, you get to find that their bodies have been mutilated, tortured, raped, done all sorts of inhumane things, and then killed. I was seeing a very disturbing video of a lady who was kidnapped from her shop. Of course, the details are yet to emerge as the reason as why she was kidnapped. But of course, she is of Somali origin. And this lady in the video, she could be seen begging for her life. I mean, guys, this is Kenya. We never used to have a lot of these kidnap cases that taking place. But then again, Kenya, I think something is going on that we are not aware of. So this lady is begging for her life in the video, and her eyes are covered, but you can see from her lips that she has been tortured beyond recognition. And her family, the kidnappers, are demanding for a ransom, that is 5 million Kenyan shillings, for them to release her. And when I started, I had told you that there has been this new norm that people believe Somalis have money. So they have now become target because they know whether their family likes it or not, they're going to pay that ransom. And failure to pay that ransom, they're going to rape and do all sorts of evil things on their beloved ones. I'm still waiting to see what the Kenyan government is going to do. And I'm not speaking this because it is affecting Somalis, but it is affecting us as Kenyans as a whole. That the fact here is that without Somalis, then business is not going to be that good in Kenya. Because guys, these guys are extremely hard working. But I believe this is more like a silent war that is taking place in the country. That you cannot even send your kid outside to play with other kids. You may risk not seeing them. I've been seeing this. I mean, I think it's been a trend for this past 1 week. Oh, this child has disappeared. You take a look, oh, she's of Somali origin. This lady has disappeared only for them to be found murdered, brutally murdered, that is. Just because Kenyans have now come to realize that the easiest way of making money is through kidnap. That the easiest way of making money is through targeting a certain community. And I really feel for them. Because as a parent, you cannot be sure whether your kid will return home from school without them risking of being bundled up in a moving car and drugged. We've seen cases whereby you find someone, this is to the unsuspecting citizens. You find someone and they're like, I'm selling perfume. If you're from the rural areas, and that's why, when I started the show, I told you guys that Kenya, that is Nairobi, has been ranked to be amongst the stressful cities, of course, in the world. It is indeed correct that here you either have to learn about survival, or if you do not know about survival, then the loss is unto you. That people have realized that the easiest way for me to make money, I have to be a kidnapper and I have to target a certain community. I still feel this. If I was of Somali origin, I'll feel endangered. And this, I think, happens to also the individuals with albinism, how they feel that anytime they might be kidnapped, that anytime they might be taken, not kidnapped for ransom, but kidnapped for rituals. You know that if you're being kidnapped, that is just it. And our Kenyan government isn't really doing anything at all. Samuel said, hello, Calmie. Hello to you too, Samuel, and I hope your morning is turning out fine. We are just talking about a disturbing issue that is happening in the country, a silent war against the Somali communities. And guys, there has been a surge in the kidnap cases, even not only targeting Somalis, but of course, recently it seems like the Somalis are over. Of course, it seems like the Somalis are becoming a target in the country. There has been an increase in kidnap cases taking place in Kenya. Kids, adults, and most of them are being found dead. I think in terms of this, I think there is just slow business that is taking place. I've told you that Nairobi has been ranked to be among the stressful cities to live in. And people have realized if I am unemployed, if I'm getting peanuts and I can just get to kidnap someone and boom, I have millions on me. Why not? So I think Kenya is indulging in trafficking, especially child trafficking. And also remember, we have been talking about how I've been talking about how now Africa has been a target whereby human beings are being trafficked. That is to be used for rituals in different countries, to be used for food in different countries, and I think it's becoming crazy because they say that out of the kidnap, that is 10% out of the kidnap cases that are happening, only 1% of them is found, and this 1% of them, they are lucky to be found. This is just so crazy that I think in the next 5 years, if the government isn't doing anything, this is going to be made to be a norm. People are going to realize that, oh, yes, I can kidnap and get away with it, so long as I make my own money at the end of the day, because the government is too lazy to fight for the people. And I'm just talking about the silent war against Somalis in Kenya, irrespective of other people, irrespective of other tribes, irrespective of other communities going through the same. And I think the Somalis are really going through a lot in the country because most of the time, also, apart from even the kidnap cases, if you get to interact with them, if they get to tell you their side of the story, is that most of the time they cannot be in a public place in peace without being viewed as terrorists. Remember, we did have the Dabab camp being close in the country, and this is a camp that hosts the thousands, hundreds of thousands of Somalis. So you can imagine what they will be forced to indulge in. Because if you used to call the camp your home and now you are homeless, you might have to indulge in something else for your survival. So I think this is a matter of discussion nationally in Kenya. We need to put stop to this once and for all. Because let me tell you, I've been to Eastleigh and I really love, the job that these guys are doing. I really love how hardworking they are in terms of business. And yes, it is true. In terms of dealing with the clothes, spices, electronics, guys, the business is just so legit. That if I am of Somali and I want to obtain an identification card in Kenya, I have to pay hundreds of thousands for me to get that identification card. Getting a passport is even worse. Getting a job is even hectic. Just because people get to believe that you might be a terrorist because of your origin. Just because people believe that there's nothing better, coming from you because you are of Somali origin. And I'll talk about now this new trend that is happening, that people have realized that this is a very hardworking community and they are going to target them for money. At Africa Diaspora Roots Connect, welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show. And you said peace and love, guys, and you have gone ahead to say that also dragging and robbing is very common. That is absolutely correct. Dragging and robbing. I think I had earlier on forgotten. I was talking about you bump into someone and they'll be like, they're selling perfume, and of course you'll be curious because they'll be like, you can't smell and the test. The perfume is all about you smelling and getting to know if you really want it. And before you even come to realize, you have to even smelling just that a hint of it, you're beyond. You're just under their power. Most people have lost their valuables. I mean, I do not really want to blame this on the economy, because those who are robbing, those who are indulging into crime, those who are indulging into trafficking, because they believe that poverty is what is contributing to them doing that. I think that is a very, very bad excuse. That is just a very lame excuse, because we still do have people who are poor, extremely poor, they're not even sure whether they'll be able to afford a meal a day. But these people are very patient. These people will just go out there and do the minimal type of work that they can do and get their minimal wages and be able to survive. But then again, we do have this greedy lot that will not stop at anything but to make sure that they have to make other people suffer. Personally, I have lost a relative. That is, I have lost a relative that is a young kid who disappeared all of a sudden. And, it's actually going to 2 months. And you're wondering, this is a 14-year-old kid. Where the heck did they go to? All of a sudden, then nowhere to be seen. This is just a kid who just went outside to play. No traces, no nothing. No one saw them. You get to advertise, you get to spend a lot of money advertising for these people. You still do not get them. Back then, when we did have a kidnapping cases, I remember the government used to do everything in its power to make sure that the individuals who have been kidnapped have been found. But nowadays, I think we should even do away with the police because these guys are just simply sleeping on their jobs. Back then, if it was a kidnap case, the police will make sure that they have followed this and found the perpetrators behind this. But come to talk about today, no one really cares. You've been kidnapped unless you pay a lot of money to the police. You pay them to actually do their work, is when they'll get to deliver some sort of justice. But you do not get to pay them, you just go and report. That is it. They won't really bother to know whether you find a relative or not, so long as it does not get to affect their kids. But guys, let me know your view regarding this. Do you feel like the Somali people are really being infringed in terms of their rights? Because right now in Kenya, they are the target. And of course, they are the target to kidnappers, that these Somali people, they feel like Kenya is not their home anymore. Because if I get to run away from my home and get to seek refuge to another African country, then I expect to have a better life there. But if I will be in this African country, and the next thing I realize is that I am a target, then we just even lose the cycle of living. Just the other day, I believe actually late last month, we did have a rich Somali tycoon being kidnapped, brutally tortured and killed, a man, of course. And we did have, of course, the government saying, oh, they're going to put the perpetrators to book and so on. Even after the incident was covered on CCTV. Even after the incident was covered on CCTV, and it showed that of course, that the watchmen it showed that the security guards were being bribed some money to allow the kidnappers go on with their work. Still, no one was apprehended. So I think there's something that is going on in our government, that our government is aware of this stuff going on, but they are not doing anything, of course, to stop this type of vice that is happening in our country. And of course, to our Somali brothers and sisters, I do understand that you do have friends who actually do have Somali friends. Actually, just it is good to tell them, to be on the safe. It is good to remind them that safety highly matters, because at the end of the day, we are here to coexist. We are here, of course, to help one another in terms of what is happening. But let me know your views regarding this. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and of course, you are tuned into the Blackwood Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And today it is all about entertainment, and irrespective in terms of entertainment, we are also tackling some issues that do get to affect us. And you can simply get to log onto, that is at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get that is to listen to the shows. You can get to like these shows as well. You can also proceed and get that is you can also proceed, and that is why is my internet buffering? All right, here we are. You can also proceed. I'm just so mad when my internet is buffering and I'm just doing something. Anyway, you can also proceed and get to listen to the show. You can also proceed and get that is to contribute to support the stream, because you also do have that is other shows as well. You can get to support the stream, and of course that is by simply donating at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. Another thing that you can get to do is that you can get to listen to other shows as well. I'm talking about the Calmie African Diary Show. I'm talking also about the 54 Correspondent Show, the Pan-African Bliss Show, the 254 Tuja Daily Show. I mean, guys, the list is basically endless. You can get to watch a lot of these shows once you are logged in. And remember, being on a Friday, it is all about entertainment. I had earlier on talked about some of the shows that you can simply get to watch. I've also updated you on some of the songs that you can get to listen. And remember, the song of the day is Songi Songi by the one and only. This name is Elka. Let me just call him Elka. I mean, it's her. Let me just call her Elka. You can listen to Songi Songi by the one and only at Elka. And moving on from the main topic of the day, I just want to slowly touch on emotional abuse. And of course, today being that is today marking 196 days to the end of the year. I believe a lot is still not done in terms of emotional abuse. I believe that a lot of awareness is still not done, irrespective of people, of course, ranting on social media. I may tell you, if you go out there and get to rant on social media, if you go out there and get to rant on maybe Twitter, nobody's going to take your tweets seriously. Even if you go out there and get to riot and protest, still the same government will get to send the police, a motorcade, and so on, and they're going to chase you away. But if you get to unite together as people and get to just just put a day aside and get to talk about this once and for all, then I believe we will have tackled an issue. So I want to briefly talk about emotional abuse, because I believe that as much as we are a few more days to coming to the end of the year, still we are battling with the issue of emotional abuse, because right now, of course, right now in around the world, I have come to realize that gender-based violence is taking place. It is on the rise. I've just talked about the situation with the Somalis, of course, in different African countries, but of course we have focused on Kenya. And gender-based violence gets to be on the increase. It gets to be on the surge. It is a plague that is affecting individuals all around the world. And also we do have and in terms of this emotional abuse, it does not only mean that it is going to affect us as adults. I believe it also gets to affect kids as well, because we have been talking about the law of cause and effect, and this actually goes hand in hand. That we are coming to the end of 2021, and still this issue has not been tackled. We are coming to the end of 2021, and still the issue with racism has not been tackled. The issue with gender-based violence has not been tackled. And I'm just wondering, what change are we really, trying to put out here on a daily basis if we cannot get to address these issues once and for all, and get to put the perpetrators indulging in such, give them a harsher sentence. If that is the leniency, the thing we can get to do, yes, we definitely have to do that. So in terms of emotional abuse, I want to talk about some few effects of emotional abuse, and they can get to affect the child's emotional development, that is for sure. Sometimes you're just wondering, why is your child portraying some types of behaviors, and you get to realize that you as a parent maybe frequently get to abuse one another. You as parents maybe get to fight one another, and the child is there. Perhaps we're just assuming that the child is too young to understand, but let me tell you, this gets to affect the child's emotional development. That is, it gets to affect their way of expressing themselves, the way of controlling emotions, and the lack of confidence. They also get to develop anger problems, and as a result, you get to see that these are not the children who are now becoming even killers at a very young age. We've seen cases whereby children get to kill their parents, not because they really wanted to, but because they just thought that maybe through stabbing their parent, maybe through shooting their parent, that will be just the solution to it. And this is all due to the effects of emotional abuse. That this child, in the environment that they did get to grow to, it was full of gender-based violence. We have been talking about this on the network for the longest time, and I believe that this also goes hand in hand with the topic of the day. Gender-based violence against women. I believe also men do get to go through this, but this is just the society. The society always gets to judge when it is a man that is going, when it is in case of a man who is going through gender-based violence, because also men do get to go through this. By the way, also men get to go through this, but no one is talking about it, and even men themselves, they rather not talk about it because the society will get to view them as being weak. And the reason as why we are having an increase in gender-based violence, I believe this is due to the surge of national lockdowns in different countries. I'm talking about, for example, African countries, that is the likes of Kenya, the likes of Tunisia, the likes of Nigeria, the likes of Liberia, and it is not becoming quite easy. And of course, more African countries to name have been experiencing this gender-based violence. And the guys, still now we still do have other countries that have gone through a lockdown. For example, I believe right now in Uganda they are dealing with the same issue, so it's not going to be that easy, and people are really maximizing this. People are knowing that yes, we are under lockdown, we can basically get to do anything, and no one is going to ask us anything, and they can easily get away with that. So that is the reason as to why this is happening. And for example, in Tunisia, we did have Tunisia calling for the reinstatement of the death penalty, that is of the death penalty, and this followed after a brutal murder of a young woman, that is in Tunisia alone. And in Liberia and Nigeria are also among us the African countries that declared a state of emergency in rape. Liberia and Nigeria declared state of emergency due to the increase in rape cases in their country. We also do have South Africa. In South Africa, it's even crazy. The surge in femicide rates, it is on the rise. And also in South Africa, it is believed to be 5 times more in terms of a global, it is actually believed to be 5 times more in terms of the global. That is to just get to classify it globally. South Africa, it is 5 times more, and this is due to the physical abuse, verbal, and the psychological abuse that are, of course, taking place in that country. And let me know your views regarding this, because I believe the more we are going into lockdown, the more people are maximizing this. The more the government is not really doing a lot about it, the more these criminals believe that they can actually get to go away with this. So we are, of course, a few minutes to winding the show, and we have talked about the issue with the kidnapping that are taking place in Kenya. And we have focused on the Somali community, because the Somali community has been highly affected by this. They have actually become the target in the country, because most thieves right now, they have come to believe that yes, we can kidnap the Somalis and nothing is going to happen. We can kidnap them and get away with a huge amount of money, because at the end of the day, they believe that this is a very hardworking community. So for them to actually give ransom, for their loved ones, it's actually easy. And this is the type of brainwash that is affecting us, because youths are now becoming very idle. They believe that they can't simply get away with anything. They believe that they can't simply get to have a shortcut in terms of finding money. But I do understand that also in your country, you might be going through the same, not necessarily the Somalis, but other tribes as well. We've also talked about the gender-based violence that is still on the rise, even after people ranting about it, even after different African countries coming about with harsh penalties. I do not know for a reason as to why someone doesn't get to let this sink in their brains that they are doing the wrong thing. I do not understand as to why any individuals who are maybe indulging in gender-based violence, in trafficking and kidnapping, why don't they even get to imagine if it was them in this? Because I think this is something that gets to you. It gets to even thrill other people, because they believe that maybe it is fascinating them, and they cannot just stop at anything but to make sure that they get to continue with this. And I think that is the reason as to why we are being affected by this. But I want to appreciate you guys. We are, of course, almost coming to the end of the show. And remember, this has been the Calmie African Diary Show. And of course, you have been tuning to the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century. It has been all about entertainment as well. We have talked about some of the songs that you can get that is to jam to, and of course some of these songs are basically going to make your weekend. You definitely do not need to have a very boring weekend, because boring weekends can definitely get to give you a hectic time. So you can basically get of course that is you can basically of course get to you can get of course to make your weekend more better. And I've given you a title of a new jam. Let me just also repeat. I think the artist should actually get to pay me for advertising this. The title of the song is a Songi by the one and only Maud Elka, and of course the title of the song is Songi. You can get to listen to that. Songi is pronounced as Songi. It's just the name song, and you add the word I there. Songi. Let me know your views regarding that if you have gotten to listen to that song. And also, you can get to listen to the one and only that is at Gucci, and the title of the jam was, or rather, is Jennifer. This is some of the new songs a lot that you can basically get to listen as we get to come to the weekend. And I want to appreciate Art Keith for providing this platform, because every day is indeed a learning experience. But in terms of a summary, in terms of what is happening, I believe we should not get to to hunt. Let me use the word hunt. We should not get to hunt one community because of how hardworking they are, because I believe we are both provided with the same resources to go out there and get to work extremely hard and get of course to be a successful businessman. All these brainwash that a certain community is successful, a certain community has money, a certain community is good at this and this. I think that brainwash should stop. I believe people should get to give themselves a chance in terms of making sure that they can also get to indulge in business, such that we get to create an equal society, such that we get to deal away with these issues of kidnapping that are on the rise. Because I believe the more idle people are, the more they get to indulge in this, the more they get to target a specific race, and as a result, that is why we do get to find a messed up situation. That is why we do get to lose our beloved ones on a daily basis. And also another reminder that I love to remind us is that remember, you can get to have a hold on us by simply logging onto www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to watch these videos. I understand that we do have an issue with the timings. You can simply get to watch these videos, and you can also get to like the videos and share the videos, because I believe knowledge shared is something great. As much as we have been having a YouTube, are trying to bring us down. But at the end of the day, if you get to share the information or the knowledge, that is just it. That is basically more than enough. You can also proceed and get to watch other shows as well. I've just listed the number of shows. There's just quite a lot of shows that you can get to watch once you are logged onto the Blackwood Fire website. It is actually extremely hot in Nairobi for some reasons. I do not understand why. Maybe perhaps it might rain a few hours from now. And you can also proceed, that is, and get to listen to the songs. You can get to read the blogs. You can also get to donate to support the stream at Blackwood Fire. That is at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. And remember, we also do have the Calmie African Diary show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Blackwood Fire Network. We are just a few minutes to coming. Sorry, we're just a few minutes to coming. Yeah, to coming. I thought I read something. We're just a few minutes to coming to the end of the show, and of course, it is already 1 minute past 1 p.m. Time to go and get to eat food in Nairobi. Of course, it is already 1 p.m. Whoever came with the timings that at a specific time it's when you're supposed to eat and so on, I think they really messed up, because now their mind is channeled towards that direction, that it reaches a certain time you're like, this is the time for eating and so on. But then again, I believe you can actually come about with your own timetable, and no one is going to ask you about that. And also, another thing is that I do trust that everyone is doing okay, and we are looking forward to interacting more and more on the website at Africa Diaspora Roots Connect. I appreciate you tuning into the show. At Samuel, thank you so much for tuning in. To those who are listening to the show, I also want to appreciate you taking your time and listening. To those who might have missed, we got you covered. You can just get to log onto YouTube, and you can get to watch some of these shows. I do trust that you have learned a thing or two regarding the entire show. And of course, I'm wishing you a very, very good weekend. Get to enjoy with your family. And to those who drink, remember to drink responsibly, and do not drink and drive at the same time, because we definitely do need you tomorrow. And also, I believe, remember that black is supreme and black is unique, and you should always be on your guard, and also remember that is to enlighten others in terms of the awakening, because at the end of the day, this is just of course it is our role. It is definitely in our hands. They say the future is in our hands, and definitely the future is in our hands. And I love to finish by saying that no kikulacho, kilicho na mwanzo lazima kiwe na mwisho. That is how we get to say in Swahili, that kilicho na mwanzo lazima kiwe na mwisho. Just to say that whatever has a beginning must definitely do have an end. Let me repeat this: whatever has a beginning must definitely do have an end. And I want to appreciate once more everyone who did get to tune into the show, everyone who did get to listen to the show. It has been a delight interacting with the family. Muwe na siku njema, stay safe and stay sane at the same time. My name is Calmie, and this has been the Calmie African Diary Show. Do have a good day.